Group Solo Group, BTS Symphony. When the Korean and world-famous boy band, BTS, announced its collective pause, the world, and millions of their fans, held their breaths. Often, when a band disbands, and the members decide to go their solo ways, the breaks lead to drifts, individual pursuits, and often musical stagnation. The global media followed the script, and came up with headlines related to the shift and grift. Most critics felt that the seven-member band was done. It would be difficult for them to get back together, if they ever did. But for BTS, the hiatus, which was a forced one due to compulsory military enlistment in South Korea, became a stage for strategic differentiation. During their time apart, the members took time off to serve the military for 18 months, and pursued personal musical passions. Surprisingly, during this period, each one became popular as an individual star. Paradoxically, the personal fame strengthened the gravitas of the BTS brand. The fans enjoyed the individual performances, forced albums to reach dizzying heights, and continued to crave for the band to come together. In March 2023, for example, a band member, Jimin, released a debut solo album, Face, anchored by a single, Like Crazy. In the first week, the song witnessed 254,000 downloads and CD singles, matched by 10 million streams, which pushed it to the top of the Billboard Hot 100. He became the first South Korean solo artist to debut at number 1, a historic event that sent reverberations across the globe. What is more remarkable is how far the album and single resonated. Like Crazy became the longest-charting K-pop solo song on the Billboard Global Excl US chart, and spent a year there. More importantly, for business observers, every time Jimin's name trended, BTS's past catalog received renewed spikes. The sales dashboards lit up as the older band's tracks re-entered the global playlists and climbed the streaming charts. Almost a year later, another band member, Jungkook, came out with a solo album, Golden, which had a shattering impact. More than 2.4 million copies were sold globally in the first 2 months, and it ranked 14 in global consumption and 7 in sales. In the US, it debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, fueled by 164,800 pure sales, another extraordinary accomplishment for a Korean solo artist. Meanwhile, a third member, Suga, took the world by storm with his tour. His D-Day tour in 2023 grossed $57.2 million in 28 sold-out shows, the highest-grossing tour by a Korean soloist. The U.S. leg raked in $30.2 million. The tour pushed the band management company, HYBE's concert revenue up nearly 40% year-over-year. One of the fans, reflecting the fandom army's pride, joked on Reddit, "If I was financially able, I'd do it again and again." J-Hope, a fourth member, brought more sunshine to the bottom line. His solo concerts, 178,000 fans in 12 shows, propelled HYBE's North American revenue up by 85% in Q1-25, which proved that every solo step by the members had a strategic ripple effect. Capping off this solo chapter, Jin added another milestone. According to Billboard's report, his 18-show run grossed $32.5 million with more than 217,000 fans in attendance, making it one of the most successful debuts by a Korean soloist. Beyond its financial punch, the tour carried symbolic weight. It was the final major event of the BTS solo era, closing the loop before its long-anticipated reunion. Physical sales generate higher margins than streaming, and the former during the solo period brought a windfall to HYBE's top and bottom lines. Again, the knock-on effect turned inward. The solo success reignited interest in BTS's group albums, pumping in recurring revenues through catalog resales and streaming cycles. A major reason how BTS avoided the break-apart trap lies in HYBE's strategy. Unlike the Western labels that often promote solo artists independently, HYBE carefully choreographed each solo rollout under the overarching umbrella of BTS. The company undertook messaging decisions, which highlighted that the solo efforts were part of a larger collective narrative, and not a splintering or breakup. When the members announced solo projects in 2022, HYBE billed as Chapter 2 in the BTS saga. They were designed to enrich, not replace, the brand. This transparency enabled the fans and investors to connect the solos with the group. The genius of this approach is that it diversified risk. Each member could explore personal creative freedom, while maintaining the shared narrative that BTS would reunite post-military service. This prevented market cannibalization, kept fandom loyalty intact, and reassured investors of the long-term brand stability. Individually, these ventures expanded the members' and the band's reach into diverse markets, be it in luxury fashion, sportswear, gaming, and even contemporary art. Each member became a standalone brand, with millions of followers, unique media narratives, and distinct aesthetics. Yet, in every press release, every campaign, and every social media rollout, the BTS identity remained intact. For example, Jungkook's Calvin Klein campaign may have amplified his star power, but headlines tied him to BTS. This tethering effect ensured that solo achievements reinforced, rather than fragmented, the group's collective value and global appeal. Investors took note. HYBE's stock wavered when the military enlistment announcements came, and there was talk about the band withering away. But solo activities and commercial wins kept the company's valuation buoyant. The message was clear: BTS was no longer a group dependent on collective activity. It represented a portfolio of individual assets, whose combined value was greater than the sum of parts. This rare balance of independent monetization with collective cohesion is what made the BTS model a case study in both brand management, popular culture, and financial resilience. In an earnings call in late 2023, a HYBE executive noted that while BTS constituted about 60 to 65% of revenues, solo projects constituted mid-40s% during the military service period. Thus, the latter plugged a potential revenue gap, as the former disappeared. BTS managed to create a dual-track system. It elevated individuals without destabilizing the group's equity. The key word is planning. The military service hiatus, rather than becoming a risk to the group, was turned into a diversification opportunity. Now, after the military services, the group will reassemble as a band, as it was in its previous avatar, for a major comeback in 2025 and a new album in 2026. BTS will not return, it will relaunch.